every time I've ever seen a musical, I walk out happier than when I walked in. And I don't know that that's the case on this movie. So I didn't want to necessarily mislead people that they would be whistling, you know, in the theater parking lot.
Hi, it's so lovely to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for coming here.
No, of course, I'm so excited. Well, I'm with Cineworld and we're very excited to be bringing Joker, Folie À Deux to the big screen.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, did you always envision Lady Gaga in the role of Harley Quinn? And how did you know she was the perfect person to play this character?
You know, the truth is, we didn't always envision her because we didn't always envision there being a Harley in the movie. We did envision a female character, and the more we wrote it, the more it suddenly was like, well, why don't we just do our version of Harley Quinn? Why don't we just make it that? But that was... So then when we started doing that and we were still writing, we were finding ourselves leaning more and more into music because it wasn't always going to have this level of music in it. Yeah. And at that point I said, okay, well, maybe we can find an actor who brings music with them, right? Who you see and you go, okay, well, that makes sense why she would be singing in this movie. So it kind of course, Gaga was, you know, my first
I was going to say, you chose one of the most iconic female voices of now.
I know, it's amazing.
You should see it out there. They're all going crazy for you. They're saying you're a bad influence on me. Well, guess what?
That's life. Lady Gaga was obviously incredible in this movie. How did it feel the first time you heard Gaga and Joaquin singing together?
Well, I'd heard them in not rehearsals, but we would meet and talk about things, and all of a sudden she would just, you know, perform something really kind of understated and, of course, beautiful, and you're just like, I can't believe this is like so close to being available to her. You know, like it's right there.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't have to go off and drink tea. She's just like right there.
It's just like waking up in the morning.
Right, and so hearing that and being that close to it, it was. I think it was really intimidating for Joaquin because now he's got to sing in front of her.
Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure, but she was really generous and helpful with him through the process, and we got over that really quick.
Yeah, and I mean the chemistry between those two was like electric on screen.
Good,
so
yeah.
I can imagine, you know, on set it was.
It was really wonderful, and it really started in that first scene where if you remember in the hallway when they're just saying hello to each other, basically, not when they're introducing to each other, and she's telling him her life story, and then she at the end sings, you know, forget your the get happy thing. That was the first scene that we really filmed with them, and that was really like, oh, okay, this is gonna work. And it was like, I thought she was doing really wonderful, understated things in that moment, in that scene.
It was like the kind of subtle moments, because that's so amazing to hear that was the first scene you filmed, because their connection in that is unbelievable.
I know, and it's really speaks to the power of filmmaking, if you ask me, not giving the credit to me, but the power of the camera, because you can do so little in a movie, and it means so much because we're so close and the screen's so big, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like all about that scene is such a film scene, because I don't know that scene works as well on a television set, because you really want to, every face move from her you could feel. His whole entire face changes when she says something wonderful about him, and you just like that's kind of what acting is. It's those really quiet moments.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. And obviously, we're a cinema company, so we are all about the big screen.
Well, there you go. And I wasn't really saying it because of that, but there you go.
I know, but it's so amazing to hear that you had that thought process the whole way through about it being such a big screen movie.
Yeah.
You are no different than any of those people that underestimated me.
Also, don't do this to yourself. It isn't you.
It isn't me. So you don't think this is me? Well, maybe. You don't know who I really was.
This film, it's sort of a musical, but also some people have been saying it's maybe not a musical. Yeah. What's your opinion on that kind of? How did you envision it?
Well, I never use the word musical, but for one reason, and it's not what people think. People go, well, why don't you just say it's a musical? It's a musical. I'm like, okay, but I guess I didn't want to mislead people, because often, well, not often, every time I've ever seen a musical, I walk out happier than when I walked in. And I don't know that that's the case on this movie. So I didn't want to necessarily mislead people that they would be whistling, you know, in the theater parking lot or whatever.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You know, so
it's not quite Grease.
Yes, right. So that was really. But I do think, yeah, it's a movie where music is a very essential element, and yes, sometimes the characters even sing. So call it what you will.
Yeah.
We're gonna build a mountain.